all doing good. It's about to be Memorial Weekend in a couple days. It's always one of my favorite weekends. You know. For most people, it marks the beginning of the summer. And you see how the story goes for me. It became kind of an ominous weekend. So anyway, where'd we leave it off at? Oh, yeah. They threw my ass in the cell, right? So they take me right into the back. They took me into a jury room where all the other people waiting to go to court were at. And they handcuffed me, shackled me, put the chain around my belly, hook my hands to it, you know, wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. And they take me down to county, let me make phone calls, you know. Somebody come pick up my car. And that's that, you know. And then from there, once you get processed and you get booked in and they give you your toiletries and your little brown cup, you get one little brown cup. You can buy a tumbler. They give you one little brown coffee cup. You take that little cup and your spork, with your toiletries and your blankets and your mattress and your new clothes and your Jesus slippers, and they take you into seg, which is segregation, right? And for some reason, that's where you stay the first couple days you're there, is in segregation. And then they put you into GPOP, which is general population. So the way Medina County was set up was in wings. So it was like segregation was kind of in the middle by the women's part. And I don't know how they ran the women's out. I don't know. But then you went from there to... Then there was north and south, which was like you could see south, literally connected. And that was GPOP, general population. And then east was what they called an honor dorm, because there was no cells. It was a little more relaxed. But that was like, if you didn't have any crazy shit on your record, or you went in there for, you know, fucked up things, you could go over there. They would send you over there and serve your time. That's for people who are sentenced. And then west was the work pod, the honor pod, like the real honor pod. And you can go over there if you wanted to go work in the kitchen or litter patrol or night cleanup, or, you know, there's a bunch of other things, but you could do. But anyways, so I go over to SAG. I'm bummed out. Nice sleep. Well, the first day I didn't really sleep. Just kind of hung out in my cell. Then I slept. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days, right? You know, I'm feeling like shit. Now here's the thing too, right? When you're in there and you go through the withdrawals, it's a lot different than going through withdrawals on the outside. And it's because part of the withdrawal, yeah, it's physical. You get the pains, you get the chills, you know, you might get the shits and throw up and all that other stuff that sucks with it, you know, sleeping and fucking nasal dripping and, I mean, all that shit that sucks. Yeah, you get that. But the fact that you're inside and you know you can't get shit, the mental part of it isn't quite as bad. At least it wasn't for me. It's like I knew there's no way I'm getting shit because I'm stuck in this fucking place. So that part kind of, it leaves your mind, you know. When you're on the outside and you're going through that, it's worse because you're like, oh, if I can come up with some money, I can make some phone calls, I can be all better. Well, you're not making any phone calls in there, you know. It's just not happening. So, holy shit, that's a big ass tree on the back of that guy's truck. So, anyways, so I'm in there for a couple days and I get sent over to G-Pop. Now I'm in G-Pop, right? Mixing with the general population. I think I still slept for a day or two. I started feeling better probably after a week. Yeah, you know, I was able to, you get visits there. I mean, back then, I don't know, things are probably different now because I know they were different the last time I was there. You could get a visit 3-4 times a week and they were an hour long. So my mom would come once or twice a week, put money on my books. My dad came to see me once or twice. My old lady was coming to see me. I had money on my books, so I could, well, my old lady at the time. So I had money on my books, so I could phone cards and soups and yada, yada, yada. Then I started learning some things, like when you're in there. Never, ever take the bottom bunk. And I'm going to tell you why. I was in there with this dude. And he was my bunkie. He had the bottom bunk, right? And he told him that he had seizures or something. So he had an extra little green mat, which are like paper thin. They're like this thick. And there's nothing to them. But anyway, he had an extra green mat underneath his bed that he was supposed to pull out and leave on the floor in case he fell out of the bed at night while he was sleeping or had a seizure and fell out or something. I don't know. But there's not a whole lot to do, especially when you're in lockdown for a couple hours. It's like read a book and fall asleep, which I did a lot of. So, start doing push-ups. Walk in circles in the pod. If they let you go outside, you just walk circles in this tiny little rec area they had. I mean, tiny. Then, so, I mean, after a couple weeks, I was only in there 53 days. Is all I was, in there for at the time. You still learn these things. Like, this dude, I asked him one day, like, hey, can I use your second mat to put on the ground, to do push-ups on? Because I was using my sandals. Because that way I didn't have to put my hands on the concrete. Yeah, no problem, man. Go ahead, Miller, man. Go on. Dude, I pulled this shit out. And there was... This dude had like cirrhosis or something of the scalp. There was big, giant flakes of skin. And little tiny flakes of skin all over this thing. And I slid it right back underneath there. Like, never mind, man. I'm good. Right? Then I got to thinking, like, what if this dude had the top bunk and I was sleeping underneath him? Like, that shit would be flaking on me, bro. Like, you're sleeping, you don't breathing that, wake up in the middle of the night, trying to huck up something, right? And you spit it out and it's a piece of this dude's scalp. Like, he used to take combs and he'd like brush it back and he'd lift it up. This dude was a weird hillbilly. I was in like a hillbilly jail. But he had like sweet and sour tattooed above his nipples. He had like a Copenhagen fucking thing tattooed right here. Just a weird dude. And he was telling everybody that he was in the Marines, I think is what he said, or an Army Ranger, one or the other. He said he was in the Army or the Marines. He said he was in Somalia and he got shot in the back of his leg. And I was like, damn, dude, you don't look like you're that old. He's like, oh, yeah, covert something or another. He's telling me all this shit. These are the kind of people you meet there. You know what I mean? These people who you don't really know them, so they can be whoever they want to be. And you'll meet all these people that they'll tell you like, oh man, I got stacks of money on the outside. I got cars with rims and sound systems, and I got 5 girlfriends. They're all smoking fucking hot and yada yada yada. And then in the same breath, they'll be like, hey man, can I borrow a suit till canteen day? Like, what? You got all this money, but you ain't got no money on your books? Yeah, man, I can't get nobody to bring me no money. Like, why not? I ain't got no money. I'm a fucking drug addict, pissed all my money away, lost my job, came to jail. I got money on my books because I got people on the outside that still love me. Even though by this point I had lost most of my friends. Didn't talk to most of my family as much as I used to. But I still had parents that cared about me, loved me. They made sure I had money. My old lady at the time, she really didn't bring me money because she was at home with the kids. But if she had 20, 30 bucks to throw in my book, she'd do it. But like this dude that was my bunkie, I don't know, he would tell all these stories about all this stuff. He acted like he was bad, he was running the pod kind of thing. Is how he kind of acted. Like the COs would come in, yell lockdown. This dude would be like, lockdown, man, lockdown, everybody, lockdown. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Well, then, one of the COs that was in the Marines, I want to say he was still enlisted, right? He's in there, this dude's telling the story to somebody about how he got shot in the back of the leg in Somalia, and blah, blah, blah. And the CO's listening to it, and he's like, for real? For real? Are you for real? And he was like, yeah. He's like, oh, man, right? 2 days later, the CO comes in the thing, and he's like, hey. And he calls the dude out. Right? He said, hey, Pageant. I talked to the enlisted guys. They looked into you. Ain't nobody ever heard of you. He's like, you're not on no list that ever went to Somalia. You're on no list that ever even went to basic. And he's like, no. He's like, what year? And he's like, I checked that year, the year before it, the year after it. He's like, no. He's like, you're a liar. I mean, in front of everybody. This dude walked into our cell, and it was like first thing in the morning. Because like, the daily routine was, you woke up at like 6:30 in the morning for count, and you would have to clean your cell and make your bed, right? Which is stupid. Then they would walk around, go in your room, take a look around, maybe look through your drawers real quick, pat down your bed, make sure you didn't have any contraband. They'd walk out and be like, go ahead. You'd go back in, lock down, get back in the bed you just fucking made, and go back to sleep, right? Then anytime between like 7:30 and 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe even, or no. Yeah, so it'd be like the 6:30 cleanup, then at like 7:30 was breakfast. Then you would get locked back down so they could clean the pod and take all the breakfast shit out. Then anytime between like 8:30 and 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, they would pop the locks and let everybody out into the day room. It was really whenever they felt like it. So this was like right as the day room was opening up for the day. Like everybody's walking out, and this dude walks out like, hey, Sarge. And he's like, Pageant, you're a fucking liar. Like in front of everybody who was up. And he went right back in the room, laid down on his rack. I don't think we heard from that dude for like 2 days. Right? Like, it's just the kind of people you'll meet in there. It's like the stories you'll hear. Like every jail I've ever been to, I've been to a few, sorry to say, you'll hear like the same story about, this dude went to court, right? And the judge was like, all right, here's 30 days. And dude was like, man, I'll do 30 days standing on my head. And the judge was like, all right, here's 30 more to get you back on your feet. Nah. You'll hear that same story no matter what jail you go into. The guy's name changes and the time of the sentence changes. It can be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. Be like, here's 1 year. Here's 1 year to get back on your feet, right? In county, it's usually like 30 to 60 days. And then you can have another 60 days to get back on your feet. You'll hear that story a lot. There's a couple more you'll hear a lot. Like, dude, that didn't happen. That happened in the last jail. That's weird. That's the 5th judge I've heard do that to somebody. You'll go to a different pod, and there'll be some different dude over there telling the same story, but with a different name. Might be the same time length, though. Different name. It's just the kind of people you meet in there. And I'd like to say that while I was in there doing my 53 days and meeting these kind of people and hearing these stories, that when I got out, life was good. Everything was A-okay. I would like to say that. I would like to say, like, yeah, when I got out, I was clean and sober. I stayed clean and sober. And that was that. But that's not the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? Towards the end, like the last month out, or last like week or two I was there, my mom was bringing me money every week. I had enough food, so I quit ordering stuff. I had enough coffee, which is king in jail, let me tell you. I had enough coffee, I had enough soups. Plus I was kind of running like a small store with this other guy in a different cell. Anyway, so, like, I made sure that when I got out, I had enough money to go get high. Like, I was still thinking about that shit when I was in jail. Like, I know that's fucked up, because that's the whole reason why I was in jail, but it's the truth. I was still thinking, when I get out of here, you know, my mom's gonna pick me up with my little brother. I'm gonna go get a good breakfast. Me and my brother are gonna go hang out for the day, and we're gonna go get high. Like, it was already planned out before I even got out of jail. And that's exactly what I did. I got out. They give you a check for the money you have left on your books. And I went and got high. And I'm telling you, it felt fucking good. But then my life still changed after that. And it wasn't for the better. Like, shit just... Yeah. So... Yeah, we'll end it there. You know, I get out, fuck myself over all over again. Because, you know, you don't learn your lesson when you're an addict. So, and then, yeah. We'll continue it from there. What is this, part 3? Yeah. So, you guys be good. I hope everybody has a good Memorial weekend. Stay safe, you know, if you're out there camping, traveling, go see people. Because, you know, this is the start of the summer. So you guys be good. Be safe. I'll see you soon.